Welcome, girls and boys, to this episode of Real American Cougar. We're going to talk about some dating etiquette for any age. If you are mature, you've been out of the dating scene for a while, maybe a few years, maybe you just need a little refresher course. I have talked to several people, women and men, a few men, because on my side of it, I would be dating a man. So we'll talk about what not to say and what not to do on your first date with somebody. Please like and share the episode. Subscribe. We've got over 600 subscribers now, which is really cool, and really happy that we've got subscribers holding it down. And give us some likes, give us some shares. That'll keep us going here on the YouTube channel. Next show, 2 weeks from now, when the show comes out, we are going to have a live guest. I'm going to have a gentleman here who is a mature single guy, and he's going to give us some insights about, from the guy's point of view, from dating at a mature age. So look forward to that. That should be interesting. This guy is a very interesting person, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. We want to talk about now about if you are getting over your case of FODA, the fear of dating again. Yeah, you've got over your case of FODA and you're ready to go out and you're ready to date again, and you've got a date lined up and you're so excited. Maybe it's just a coffee, or maybe it's dinner, or something, something small. You're just getting together, you're meeting this person. Maybe you've texted and maybe you've talked on the phone or messaged, but you haven't really met the person yet. So you're getting ready, you're going to meet this person for the first time that you've talked to for a while. And you've got to keep in mind, you don't have to be like any different than what you normally are. You don't need to pretend to be somebody or try to put on some kind of a personality that you don't have. But there are some things that you can do to represent yourself in your best light. And when you meet somebody for the first time, they say about first impressions, how they last. Well, you're representing yourself. And one good rule of thumb is when you are saying something or you're acting a certain way or doing something, saying something is the easiest trap to get into. Sometimes words get, we get ahead of ourselves with that. But if you would not say something that you would put on a huge billboard, if you put your face on a huge billboard, don't say anything that you wouldn't want to be listed right next to your face on that billboard for everyone to see. So keep that in mind. Don't say something if you don't want the world to know it. Don't say it, okay? Just make sure that that's something that you would be proud of having out for everybody to see or everyone to hear before you say it. That helps. It's a given that you don't talk about politics and you don't talk about religion. That's just a little bit too much conflict there to start out. You don't want to start out with conflict. You want to have a nice, smooth, fun date. So don't get into those things right away. Maybe when you get to know somebody a little bit better and you want to know what their real feelings are on certain topics. Those are for later, when you know somebody a little better. And just generally speaking, try to be well-spoken, try to get your point across. I know it's anxious, it's anxiety-producing to go out on a first date with somebody. But just try to be able to be understood. Some things that are going to help you give you yourself in your best light is the way you say things. If you use a lot of, if you describe things in very colorful language, and some of us do quite frequently, and I myself tend to sometimes describe things in colorful language, but that you got to know the situation. You got to know where you can say some things and where you can't. So if you are used to using profanity or other colorful language, try to tone that down a little bit. You don't know how the other person's going to accept that. You don't, if you want to represent yourself in a good light, then you want to be well-spoken. I can remember way back in the day when I was a kid, and my mom, we were always, taught to try to be well-spoken, and our family came in contact with a lot of different people. So when people ask us, how are you? You don't say, well, I'm good. I still do that sometimes. Well, I'm good. You say, I'm fine, thank you, and you? Or I'm fine, thank you, how are you? Then when you answered somebody, you didn't say yeah. I still do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll answer with a yeah. Well, you don't answer with a yeah. The word is yes. I learned that especially when I went to work. I went to work for a housekeeper when I was younger, before I ever thought of doing what I do now. And that was her pet peeve. You didn't say yeah. When she called your name, you didn't say yeah, or you didn't answer with a yeah. You answered her with yes. And I've learned a lot from that, because when I go to work at my office, it sounds a lot better if somebody calls my name, or the doctor calls my name, or somebody there calls my name, and I answer with yes. It sounds a lot better than yeah. Yeah. So I try to keep that in mind. I try to save that for when I'm out and I'm being my best self. I answer with yes. And fine, thank you, how are you? And not just I'm good, or not just kind of, sort of, maybe. When you want to use your superpower, you want to be confident. The way you speak shows your insecurities or your confidence, one or the other. So be confident, use your superpower, talk about things that you know about, things that you're comfortable with. Be comfortable. That's the next one. Be comfortable. It's anxiety producing just to go out on a date with somebody that you don't know that well, or somebody that you haven't seen in a long time. So be comfortable. Wear comfortable clothes. You can wear nice clothes, but don't wear that tight little fitting little dress that kind of pulls a little bit in the back here and kind of bugs you. You're kind of shifting around it all the time. Wear something comfortable that you're going to be able to just sit and talk and enjoy your time with this person. Try to be comfortable all the way around. Don't ask too many questions at first. Speaking of speaking, don't ask too many questions. You can bombard someone. I know you want to get to know them, but you can bombard someone with questions to the point where they are feeling grilled. Some of the questions you don't want to ask is, how long have you been single? That might make someone think that, oh, well, if I've just got out of a relationship, so that might be not good. And if I've been single for a long time, then maybe somebody is going to wonder what's wrong with me. And that's not a real good question to ask. How long have you been single? Or do you go out a lot? Do you get a lot of dates? You look like, you get a lot of women. Don't say that. If they go out on a lot of dates and they're going out with you, for one thing, are you actually going out with somebody that you really want to get to know? And if they have a lot of dates and they get a lot of women, why are they dating you? So instead of saying you look like you get a lot of dates, maybe what you really are saying is, wow, you're handsome. I'm attracted to you. I like your eyes. I like your hair. Oh, you look nice today. I like the way you're dressed. Or you smell good. Things like that. Someone who looks like they get a lot of women usually are nice looking people. They smell good. They dress well. They look nice. They're attractive. So just come out and say that. Put it in a better way. Don't ask a guy how much money they make. That is one of the worst things you could possibly do on a first date, is to ask them. It's okay to say, well, where do you work? Or what do you do for a living? You usually start things with, what do you do for a living? But it's never appropriate to ask anyone how much money they make. If they want to volunteer how much money they make, that's okay. But it's not all about money. When you go to meet somebody, it should be about you spending your time with them and getting to know if this is the person that you want to go on a second date with. Don't be rude or sarcastic to other people around you. Don't be rude to the wait staff or someone who might be sitting at the table next to you that has a crying baby. You're there representing yourself. Remember the billboard. You may be putting your best self forward when you're meeting this person, but if you turn around and be rude to the wait staff, or be rude to the people next to you, or being a little noisy because they have a couple of children or whatever, then you're showing your true colors right there. It's not nice to be rude anyway. That never makes a good impression. So try not to be sarcastic. I have a problem with speaking with sarcasm. I joke and I don't mean it as a real thing, and sometimes I'll respond with some sarcasm. And I got to think about that too. I got to think about what my tone of voice says to somebody else. That's a thing too, you know, your tone of voice, how you say things. Don't check your phone. Don't check your phone all the time. Oh my gosh. I just love it when I go out every so often. I have a person I will go out with who will take me out once in a while. And I love the fact that he doesn't even take his phone in with him. He leaves it locked in the car. I take my phone with me mainly because I have, you know, children in the area. I have a grandchild. I have an elderly mother that lives away, you know, and family. But I don't check my phone all the time. It's more for emergency things. If somebody sends me a message and I look at it and I don't need to look at it right then, I don't look at it right then. It's only, you know, it's just nice not to check your phone all the time and not to be on your phone all the time when the person that's, you know, taking you out deserves your attention. They deserve your attention. So please, no phone. Don't focus on sex. When you're out with somebody, I get uncomfortable if I go out with somebody and right away they focus on sex because I feel like a non-person. I feel like I am there for a purpose. And you don't know if this person is really going to be the person that you want to go out on a second date with, like we said, or not. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't assume that there's going to be anything physical right then and there. Some people aren't like that. Some people want to get to know someone. Myself, as a mature single woman, I want to get to know someone. I'm sure not going to make the same mistakes I made when I was younger. I want to get to know that person. And sometimes sex is just the farthest thing from your mind anyway. And if somebody seems to be pressing you in that direction, it's very uncomfortable for you. And I'm sure it would be very uncomfortable for the other person. You just don't get ahead of yourself. You know, don't be talking sex. Don't be talking relationship. What are you looking for in a relationship? Maybe somebody's just looking to have a new friend and have somebody to go places with so they're not alone. You know, maybe they're not looking for a relationship. Maybe they're not ready for a relationship. So, you know, don't get too involved in the physical and in the long-term right away. Don't focus on sex. If things go well, there'll be plenty of opportunities for that. Don't talk about your ex. Don't compare your date to your ex. This was one of the ones that several guys gave me this answer to. Do not compare your date with your ex. Your date is not your ex. They can be probably nowhere near what your ex is like. You might not even know. Bringing up your ex is also indicating that you might have some unfinished business. If you're talking about your ex, or, you know, it's very awkward. If my ex walked into somewhere where I was having dinner with someone and I didn't know them that well, but I wanted to get to know them, and my ex walked into the same restaurant, I probably would not even acknowledge it. There's nothing more uncomfortable than, and I had a guy tell me this actually happened. He went out on a date with a woman and she said, "Oh, my ex is over there. There's my ex. I wonder if I should go talk to him." Or start telling you all about them. You know, I wouldn't want to go talk to my ex. If I can't give the person my full attention in the first place, my ex doesn't deserve my attention, and I'm not going to worry about that. So don't make a bad impression that maybe you have some unfinished business that you need to take care of, or perhaps you have some baggage that you need to deal with. Maybe you need to heal a little bit more before you start dating, if you're still bringing up things from the past that are unpleasant. And just kind of stay away from the negative. Try to leave the unpleasantness away. Try to put it where it belongs, behind you. Don't be negative. Don't talk shit about anybody there. You see anybody, oh, that's so-and-so, that's blah, blah, blah. Or look at that lady, look how she's dressed. It might be somebody that person knows. It might be their sister. You don't even know. So please, don't be negative. Try not to be negative. Try not to talk shit. Don't food shame. If you go out on a date with somebody and they get something that you absolutely would never eat in your life, and they like it, and of course you're going to order what you like too. Maybe they don't like what you're eating. Don't food shame somebody. Oh, you eat meat? Oh, you don't eat meat? You're a vegetarian? Oh, you know, just order what you like, you have what you like, you have what you like, and keep your food comments to yourself. That always goes for the best. And last but not least, please don't overdo it on the alcohol. Try to keep yourself in moderation when you're out. You want somebody, you see the real you. If the real you tends to overdo with alcohol, that might not put you in the best light either. But, just try to maybe have a drink, be comfortable, but just don't overdo it. Everybody wants to be in control of a situation, especially when you don't know someone very well. Don't overdo and give your power to somebody else. You remain in control and keep your power for yourself. So, that is my little talk about dating etiquette for any age. If you haven't been out for a while, maybe this is helpful for you. Maybe it gave you a little chuckle. The main thing when you go out is don't be negative. Just be yourself. Make it relaxing and fun. End it on a good note. And perhaps you will get that second date. Thank you for watching. Good luck on your next date. Peace out.